Okay, so track is back, right?
Well, we launched real-time search, so I don't know if that qualifies as track or not, but it's very exciting for us because it lets you see the results stream in essentially instantly as soon as someone posts a new entry or a comment that matches your query. It'll appear instantly in all of the browsers of all the people watching that search around the world.
Uh, so, what is your understanding of what track is?
So I'm, I think maybe the people have different ideas of what it means. So we think of it in terms of a couple of different features. So the real-time search that we just launched today, you can look at the search results, you can have it embedded somewhere, and it updates instantly as it happens. So it isn't, if I post a new comment and it matches someone's query, like they're searching for Gmail or something like that, it'll appear in their browser within less than a second. So it becomes almost like chat because it's so instantaneous. So you can see those conversations occur in real time. What we're planning to do next, and this is at least a few more weeks still, is actually enable you to subscribe to those searches in the same way that we allow you to subscribe to any other feed, and that includes notification options such as email, IM, notifier. So for example, I could do a search for people mentioning my name. Like I could search for Paul Buchheit with things that have, let's say, more than one comment, and I could actually have that, let's say, go to IM when that happens, and then if my phone is set up with IM, I could actually get that on my phone. The instant someone mentions my name, which could be kind of fun. Obviously, that's a somewhat frivolous use case, but if you have a product that you're monitoring closely, or a brand that your job is to stay on top of, that could be very useful.
Now, are you going to start decorating these searches with advertising?
Not currently. We have no advertising plans right now.
But I mean, that would seem to be a logical extension of this technology.
Right. Obviously, search has been proven to be a fairly lucrative space, but it just isn't our priority right now. We're more focused on building out the product and adding these great features like the ability to subscribe to searches.
Right. What about? I mean, obviously, IM also flows that same stream into, let's say, GChat, where it's then archived inside of Gmail. So that's an advantage that we've been waiting for quite a while for.
Right.
What about the ability to what I would call feed splicing, to be able to splice this stream of data along with the home feed?
Right, exactly. So that'll be what is enabled by subscribing. So, for example, I could do a search for TechCrunch FriendFeed, for whenever those two terms appear together, and then actually subscribe to that search and say, I want that search, anything that matches that search result to appear in my home feed, or maybe I want to put it in one of my friend lists. And in that way, I don't have to go do that search every day. It actually just appears along with all the updates from my friends.
Right, and then you can subscribe to. How can you get that composite feed out of the system?
Well, what we launched today has the embedding feature, so you can put that on a blog or wherever else. The ability to export those composite feeds, as you call them, is possible via the API, or it will be very soon. But another feature that we'd like to add, and I don't know exactly when this is available, is that groups can also likewise subscribe to feeds. So, for example, if you have a group that's called it's just FriendFeed fans or something, and they want to do a particular search to pull in more content for their group, they could automatically subscribe the group to that feed, so that everything matching that search automatically appears in the group, and people can have a discussion there.
So the group is the new term for what used to be called rooms.
Exactly.
All right, and then so you can also, of course, turn those rooms private.
Correct.
So you can, and how does direct messaging intersect with this?
Well, direct messages are also searchable. So search works with direct messaging, but I don't think that there's I don't think there's too many other intersections between the two features.
So in other words, the people that have visibility into private rooms would be able to essentially have a custom service that became available to them as part of their overall
So in addition to being able to pull in, let's say, an RSS feed of someone's blog or something like that, they can also just pull in a search result in real time, so that everything that matches that is going to come into the room.
And so you say that the API will be available shortly for this?
You're right. We're working on an entirely new revision of the API that we hope will significantly simplify development of FriendFeed apps. And we have internally kind of a beta version of it that we're hoping to get out at least to maybe a few people next week. And so it should be released to everyone within a few weeks.
Okay.
And that will make available every feature that we have today. So our current version 1 API is missing a few of the features that were introduced with the FriendFeed redesign, like direct messages, for example, and also obviously real-time search. But those features will all be available in the API v2.
All right, now how about the ability to create rooms, to create, groups? Is that going to be available as part of the API, or is that yet another
that's
issue?
a good question. I'll have to double check the docs. I think that may not be in there yet, so we can certainly add it.
Right. I mean, from a technical perspective, I mean, there was some issue regarding not being able to, having a sort of recursive issue with adding RSS feeds.
Right, to
that
avoid
come
creating.
from
We don't let you import
stream.
FriendFeed RSS feeds back into FriendFeed because that creates loops in the system, which is a problem. And so what we will allow you to do is actually just explicitly support that feature of subscribing to another feed instead of going via RSS, and that way the system can automatically detect and manage those loops and prevent them from being a problem.
So when's that going to happen?
I don't have a date yet for that, but it's a feature that I want myself very much. So
Well, but you wanted this feature too, and
yeah, I know. These things are always a little more subtle than you might think.
more than a week,
More than a week.
less than a year,
Less than a year.
less than a month.
I'm unsure if it's more or less.
Okay,
than a month,
so now we know it's at least a month and maybe 2 months.
that's probably right.
Okay.